Hey there, Walt here from WaltInPA. Pulled over on the side of the road because totally forgot to put my earplugs in before I set off. And it makes a remarkable difference. You know, it's funny because for a long time I didn't wear earplugs, and I had no desire to wear earplugs on a motorcycle. In fact, I was one of those stubborn people that insisted that it probably made riding harder since I wouldn't really be able to hear what was going on around me. And so yeah, that was my perspective for a couple of years. You know, I never wore earplugs back when I started riding a motorcycle. Then we had that big long gap where I took a break to have children. And then ever since I got back into it in early 2020, I haven't been wearing earplugs. Well, you know, to be fair, I never wore them before, so why would I wear them the second time around? And you know, I've been working in the wood industry for all of my working life, and I just assumed, like, you know, I've done enough damage to my ears being around all those loud machines that like, how much damage could a revving motorcycle and some wind noise really do? And it wasn't until I actually was talking to Untamed Ride, Steve, and he had mentioned that he used a pair of earplugs, and he was like pleasantly surprised with how comfortable it was. Now in his case, he has an Aprilia RS660, and he put this obnoxious SC Project exhaust on it, and to be fair, it sounds great, but man, I don't know that I would want to hear that exhaust droning, you know, for hours on end on a long ride. So I think that was the driving force behind him popping in a set of earplugs, was just to kind of dull out some of that loud exhaust note. So anyway, he says, oh, you know, it's great. You know, I can't imagine riding without them. And I thought, well, what the hell? I'll give it a shot. So I went on Amazon and I ordered some Max Light earplugs. And, you know, I could have gotten a set of earplugs for work, or obviously you could buy them from like Walmart or something like that. But all the time that I worked in the wood industry, there were always two types of earplugs. There were the little green ones, the Max Light earplugs, the soft ones for smaller ears, and there was the giant ones that were really hard and felt like they were sticking way out of your ears, and I hated those things. So it was either the two categories were either the good ones that I liked or everything else. So I wound up ordering a box of 200 Max Light earplugs in a soft green foam for my delicate ears, and I've been using them ever since. I think I spent like $18 on the box, and basically I wear them and then throw them away. So yeah, there's a box of 200, so it should last me a good long time. 200 rides anyway. So now the trick with earplugs is, from my perspective, a lot of people don't put them in correctly. You know, I see people kind of wad up the earplug and stuff it in their ears, and you know, you see this plug sticking way out, and you know, they'll bump something or they'll move around too much and it'll literally fall out of their ear. And the reason is because it's just not seated properly. And I was taught during, you know, the initial safety briefing at the wood shop that if you're going to wear earplugs, you want to kind of squish them in between your fingers and roll them down so that they're as thin as they will go. And then instead of just popping it in your ear, you're going to use your opposite hand. So if I were putting an earplug in my right ear, I would reach up over top of my head with my left hand, grab a hold of the top of my ear and lift it, and then insert the plug with my right hand. And that is supposed to open up the ear canal. It lets you get the ear plug in there and seated correctly. And yeah, when it expands, it's in there and it blocks lots of noise and it does not fall out. In fact, I was joking with Steve that There have been times in the past where I've got that gagging sensation because I put the earplug in a little too far, but it's just the way I was taught to use them, and I fully seat them. You know, I don't ever have any trouble getting them out, but you know, I want to make sure that they're in there and seated properly so that I'm not letting in a lot of noise. So anyway, these soft earplugs, I've worn them on trips that are, you know what, I wore them on the trip down to Lewis Ferry that me and the guys went on from Discord, and that was like a 13-hour day, 14-hour day. I mean, obviously I didn't have the earplugs in the entire time, but I had them in for very long stretches for several hours, and I've never found them I've never found them to be uncomfortable. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm buying the softer earplugs deliberately so that I can wear them for long stretches without my ears getting sore or getting tired. So, you know, some of the benefits of the earplug is, you know, I always thought that my helmet was relatively quiet, and you don't realize just how much noise the earplug drowns out until you get on the bike and ride a little bit without earplugs. You know, every once in a while I'll be in a rush to get out of work or to leave the house, and I'll forget to pop the earplug in, and I will know immediately as soon as I start to set off that I have forgotten the earplug and I need to stop and put them in, otherwise I'll get a headache. I've gotten so used to wearing them. Now they cut out a lot of noise, but it seems to be just like certain frequency ranges. I'm talking to myself right now and I've got no problem hearing myself. You know, obviously it's my own voice, but it knocks out the bulk of the wind noise in the helmet. It knocks out some of the droning of the exhaust or the engine sound, and I can still hear plenty. You know, if a car came up behind me and beeped at me, I would definitely hear it. And I think that was one of the misconceptions that I believed prior to wearing earplugs, was that, you know, I won't be able to hear things around me and it's going to make me less safe. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, it tends to block out all the right noises, and it actually helps with fatigue. I don't find myself as physically drained after a long ride, or as mentally drained after a long ride. It's pretty happy with them. Again, I think though it all comes down to making sure that you get the right earplug, the one that is most comfortable for you. So anyway, what I'm going to do is, if you're curious about these earplugs that I wear, I'm going to put an affiliate link in the description down below. Don't be scared that it's an affiliate link. Yes, if you buy earplugs, I'll make 22 cents or whatever it is on that box of earplugs. But it goes to support the channel, and I'm not, you know, saying, oh, you should buy these earplugs because, you know, I'll make a couple of cents on the sale of a box of earplugs. It's that I really believe in them. I stand behind them. It's what I buy. It's what I use. It's what I'll continue to use. And I think they're a fantastic product. And I don't think they're overpriced. You know, I think they're well worth whatever they go for these days, assuming that they still go for the, you know, the $20 or so that I paid for them a while back. But yeah, great product. Anyway, what I need from you is to head down to the comment section and let me know how you ride. You wear earplugs? Do you not wear earplugs? In fact, you know, it's probably worth noting that I do have the Seno on my helmet, and I have no issues either listening to music or communicating with other riders. I do it all the time with earplugs in. I do have the volume turned all the way up on the Sena, so the mesh communication is fine. I can hear everyone that I've tried to communicate with through the mesh. Comes through just fine. Music comes through just fine. The one time that I did connect to Discord to do kind of a group chat while we were riding, we weren't all using Senas. We had a couple of Cardo riders in the group, so we needed a solution to bridge the gap between the two manufacturers. ultimately we decided to use Discord's voice chat app, and that's how we were communicating back and forth. Now when I used that, I had the opposite problem. It was like incredibly loud. In fact, it was so hard to make out the voices because it was so loud, booming through the speakers, and I actually had to turn it down. So I haven't run into a situation where I can't get the Sena loud enough to come through the earplugs. In the one instance that wasn't the norm, I actually had to turn the thing down because they were too loud. So again, head down to the comment section and let me know how you ride. Earplugs, no earplugs. What do you do? Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you do me a huge favor and click on that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. As always, ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one. This is where we stick around, we let all the looky-loos click away, and you know, this is parts for the hardcore viewers that stick around to the very end. You know, I feel like I need some kind of name for the people that stick around. I had actually gotten an email from a guy out in Illinois, and he referred to himself as what did he say, the Illinois contingent of the WaltInPA Army, and I thought that was like super cool that he did that. Like, it literally made my day. I was like all pumped up, like, that's it, I'm gonna call everyone my WaltInPA Army. And then I realized, I was like, shit, the Shade Tree does that. It's the Shade Tree Army. I don't want to have a duplicate of Shade Tree's group. So I've been racking my brain trying to think of something to call the people that stick around to hang out. I know that Black Phoenix Entertainment calls his crew, his hardcore crew, the Flock. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions, we're gonna crowdsource this bad boy, this name here. So head on down to the comments and let me know what you think. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. You guys make this whole process lots of fun and enjoyable. Ride safe. I'll catch you in the next one.